Welcome into the Press Box Fantasy Football Show. Glenn Clark, Kyle Ottenheimer, and our lovely and talented host, Mr. Ken Zalis, Press Box Fantasy Football Expert. Good to see you as always, pal.
Good to be here.
Today's show brought to you by our friends at CCBC. Supercharge your computer skills with beginner to advanced classes at CCBC. All tuition free if you qualify. 443-840-4700. We have finally made it. Football is happening.
It is.
I guess I should still keep my fingers crossed.
We're going to get at least one game.
Yeah. Tonight, obviously, Chiefs-Texans opens things up. How many leagues total you playing in this year?
22.
That's actually smaller than the number that I expected you to say, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, those are like
counting best
leagues.
ball.
Oh, not including best ball.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I was going to say.
I have no idea how many best ball leagues I'm in.
Cool. Cool.
Last two drafts last night, I was so happy when I was done.
Yeah, I forgot that you had thrown me in another. I had to use another, draft in another league last night with you. My God, man, you have wrote me into so many of these things.
Only two.
It's two more than I need to be in.
Two
more than are necessary. All right, let's start with some of the big picture stuff. If you're a Mike Evans owner, how you feeling today?
I'm not feeling great. Late week, and I consider Wednesday late week. Injuries that pop up and coaches talking about game time decisions and going to the wire doesn't make me feel great. Friday will be the key day. I mean, does he practice Friday? Even a limited session would be nice to see because it's a great matchup. We're all excited to see, Tampa, new offense with, Tom Brady and having all of his weapons and things like that. So, but I don't feel great about it. The way that, the preseason, quote unquote preseason, has gone as far as reporting injuries, things just pop up out of nowhere. I got caught last night in the draft and totally missed the Divine Ozigbo information and found out that I apparently 3 days prior put a waiver claim with a fab for like $76 for him.
Ooh.
So that's not great.
Rough.
Luckily my fab in that league is $1,000, but still not great.
Yeah.
But things pop up these days that are late, and so I'm not feeling great, but we have some time to work that out.
Let's go there then to Jacksonville. Is James Robinson like a play?
Robinson.
Is this somebody you're actually like playing in fantasy football?
I own him everywhere. He's going to be a RB3 for me when it's all said and done this week. He's the only game in town. Chris Thompson, wonderful pass catching, duties, but it's tough to remember back to draft season, but this is a guy I really, really liked out of Illinois State, and he's a banger. And if he gets an opportunity, you never know. You got to think it's 15 to 20 touches in week one in a game that, the game script could be that it's semi-close, at least for a half.
Yeah.
So I like James Robinson.
All right. In one of my leagues, he's available. Do I drop Ayuk, Jefferson, Jack Doyle, or my backup quarterback in order to get him?
I mean, depending on who your tight end is, there's no reason to keep
that's
two
the
tight
problem.
ends.
Noah Fant's my tight end.
Well,
so.
So to me, it's probably I'm guessing wide receiver is pretty good for you since you have some rookies.
I've got DeAndre Keenan Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Okay, so you're strong there. It's probably Ayuk for me right now. If I wanted to grab him, but James Robinson should be rostered in every single league.
Okay.
Who's your starting quarterback?
My starting quarterback's Josh Allen.
Who's your backup?
Stafford.
I'm not dropping either one of those guys.
Yeah.
But he's got to be owned. So I mean, I'm not whatever you have a better feeling about as far as the wide receivers go. The reason I say Ayuk, as much as I like him, is he's already banged up. We don't know if he's going to play this week. He does take a secondary role once Samuel comes back. And Jefferson has more of an established right away healthy role in the Minnesota offense. So I'd probably make that move to drop Ayuk.
What are you doing about the Washington backfield?
I don't know. I mean, if you want to, the only one that I feel comfortable even throwing into a flex spot is Gibson. But
you're not high on Gibson.
It's not that I'm not high on him. I love the talent, but people that are expecting him to come into the NFL and be a 3-down back because he's a great receiving option. This is a guy who had 70 to 80 touches in college. I've never seen him carry a full load at running back. I don't know if he can do it. He's more of a wide receiver than anything else. And again, the talent's great. You get the ball to him in space. No preseason, doesn't know. I just don't trust it. But they must have seen something. I mean, you don't drop Adrian Peterson because you have J.D. McKissick and Peyton Barber on your roster, and Bryce Love,
right?
So I got to think they really like what they saw in Gibson. But week 1, it's going to be a mess. You may have 4 running backs getting touches there. So if you're desperate and because of where you had to draft them, especially this past week, you had to draft them kind of early. If you want to throw them in as a flex in a PPR, fine. But I hope he does well. Because I own him in a couple places. I own everybody in a couple places. But I just don't see 15 carries out of him.
Let me go back to Jackson. I meant to make. Are you convinced that Robinson's the guy,
He's the guy.
Or like if Armstead comes back at some point, is that still?
He has 3 weeks essentially,
right,
to show that he's the guy, and that's all you can ask for any player that's coming into a new situation. But they felt like I get that they're kind of tanking. But there's tanking and then there's just irresponsibility. They felt good enough about, at the time, Ozigbo and Robinson that they said, okay, we can get by with these guys right now and let Fournette go.
Okay.
So I like him. Go watch an Illinois State tape. This guy is fantastic.
We watch tons.
This guy, I'm really, as a runner, and again, I know it's the what he played against wasn't as good as, other running backs. He's a really good player, and I think I'm hoping for him. He takes this opportunity and runs with it. Reichel, eventually he'll be back. I don't know what it'll be a while means. I mean, he's got COVID. He's had COVID twice.
Right.
He may. I know people that have COVID. They said they didn't feel the same for 3 months.
Yep.
So I don't know. And so right now Robinson has to be looked at as an RB1 on his team and a top, a top 36 for sure running back in the NFL.
Cam Akers is the guy in L.A.?
I mean, he's going to be the guy. I mean, they can.
But like for this week, for setting your roster.
For this week, he's the guy if Henderson is inactive. If Henderson's active, it muddies up things. I don't buy the Malcolm Brown stuff. He's the starter because he's been there the longest, and they're going to give him the first snap on the field. But yeah, I mean, as long as Henderson's inactive, which we expect, I'm all for Akers this week.
All right. Give me the other guys injury-wise that you're monitoring over the course of the next couple of days.
Not a whole bunch. We talked about Evans. We talked about the biggest guy is Miles Sanders. I just hope he's out because even if he's in, I'm not playing him this week. I don't have him in my top, I think, 36. I think it's the Boston Scott show.
Wow.
This week. And by the way, if you're playing DFS, throw Boston Scott in a lineup. But I have a tough time seeing. This is a hamstring. These things linger. David Montgomery's not going to play as well. So, Tariq Cohen's a guy you can fire up. So I think Miles Sanders is the biggest one, and he'll be a headache for people if he plays. Other than that, there's really, Ayuk, Justin Rager, probably not going to play either one of them. You have... they really haven't said anything about Alshon Jeffrey, but I doubt he plays. Devontae Parker has a questionable tag on him, but I think he practiced it limitedly, so I think we're good to go there.
Still kind of shying away from him week 1 against the Patriots. I know he did really well against Gilmore last year, but
the Patriots And the Dolphins just had the Patriots number. If anybody hasn't paid attention for the last 3 years, and the Dolphins have been terrible for 3 years.
They're pretty good in the second half last year,
but they play well against, and we know that Fitzmagic isn't scared to throw the ball anywhere. So, I if he goes, I mean, he's certainly a wide receiver 3 this week. So. Outside of that, I think everybody's good. I mean, Kittle had the little thing, but he's back practicing, so I'm not really worried about that.
Last one, generically, what are you doing about the Detroit backfield right now?
Swift practicing today didn't really help me a whole lot because I think you're taking the same thing as all the rookie running backs this week outside of CEH probably, and there's going to be more of a split than you think there's going to be tonight with Darrell Williams as the short yardage back. It's kind of a mess. I mean, their RB3s, him and Carry-On are kind of the same to me right now because I don't know how it's going to work out. I mean, you talk about Jonathan Taylor. Coach said today they're going to save him for the midway through the game so he's fresh for the fourth quarter. Okay, I like that. I like that in the game script sense of things that he's going to be the closer to Mac. Okay, I can use both of those guys, but same thing with Dobbins. I mean, I love Dobbins this week. I think they're going to run the ball, 45 times against the Browns. But, what's the split going to be? Is Gus active, and does he take 10 carries? Do they do that? So I think we have to. I know we're excited about a lot of people that we just drafted, but I think especially with the splits that we have around, and we have a lot of them in the NFL. Not only the rookies, you have Gordon and Lindsey for Denver as well.
Miami.
Miami. Howard's the more established guy because
Breda's more
1 and
interesting
2, but Breda in a PPR is more interesting. I think we have to wait and see, and go. I lean with people that I think are going to score touchdowns this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I get that. All right, we're going to get to some questions here in a minute. Ken Zalis is with us for the PressBox Fantasy Football Show. And KZ's going to be back with me on Sunday for Project Game Day. Looking forward to that. That'll be immediately after Baltimore-Cleveland. Same locations, facebook.com/PressBoxSports and PressBoxOnline.com/radio. Project Game Day. I'll also be with you at halftime for Project Game Day of that game. And Project Game Day we'll be doing every game day this season. It is brought to you by our friends at Wise Markets and the U.S. Army. Appreciate them making it happen for us. Your questions, yes?
One quick thing. Forgot about tonight's game because I was looking forward. But Brandon Cooks, we're game time decision. We got to kind of wait and see. If he goes, I'm playing him.
Okay. All right. If he plays, he goes. Or if he goes, you play him. Very good. All right, when we come back in, we'll get to your questions and our questions. Get them in the comments section on Facebook or at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, and we will pose them to KZ. That's next, the PressBox Fantasy Football Show.
With Wise Markets Lowest Price Guarantee, we guarantee the lowest price in the area. If a local competitor advertises any of our tagged Lowest Price Guarantee items at a lower price, we'll give you double the difference with purchase.
Eat better, spend less, that's Wise.
Looking to get one up on the competition? Supercharge your computer skills. CCBC has classes at all levels from beginner to expert coder. Explore Microsoft Office, gaming, or even ethical hacker. Maybe hardware is your gig. Become A+ certified. All tuition free if you qualify. Call 443-840-4700 or visit ccbcmd.edu/quickreg.
If you're looking to make an impact, there's no better place to do that than the U.S. Army. Whether your goal is to fight and cure deadly diseases, develop technologies, or seek adventures across the globe, the Army is where all of that can happen, and so much more. The Army is a team of 1 million individuals working together to take on the most complex problems in the nation and the world, and to win. Ask yourself, what's your warrior? Go to army.com/Baltimore to find out. To learn more, contact your local Army recruiter and find us on social media at U.S. Army Baltimore.
Glory Days Grill's summer seasonal menu is now available for dine-in, dine-out on the patio, or to go. It's a new season, so enjoy new flavors. Try their new Knockout Shrimp or the delicious lobster roll with grilled corn made with real Maine lobster. They're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Visit glorydaysgrill.com for a location near you. From the Glory Days Grill family, stay healthy and stay positive during this challenging time in our community. All right, back in here on the Press Box Fantasy Football Show. Is that a yes or a no? I just need a yes or a no.
Give my smart ass answer no. Yes.
Okay, all right, very good. We'll deal with that in a minute. Press Box Fantasy Football Show. Ken Zalis with us. All right, KZ, let's start getting to questions. Got a bunch for week 1. From Tony, wants to know Hunter Henry or Austin Hooper?
Henry this week. I believe that the Ravens will be better against the tight end this year with some youth that can run. So I like Henry. Cincinnati's not great defensively yet.
All right. Also wants to know if Miles Sanders doesn't play, is he going Antonio Gibson or
Boston Scott?
No. He just. I guess. Okay. I get the question now. If Miles Sanders does play, is he definitely playing Miles Sanders over Antonio Gibson? Sorry.
That's a great question. No, I think you throw. I don't think he's there for more than a handful of plays. So I think Gibson gets more opportunity this week.
And also wants to know Jarvis Landry or Justin Jefferson. I assume that's
Landry,
right?
Yeah, I mean Landry's one of those 4 or 5 for 60 guys. Jefferson again, love the spot. Don't necessarily know how it's all going to work out with these rookies right away.
John, you're right. By the way, John from Little Rock Kitson, you're right. Raquel Armstead has not said that he has COVID, and yes, that list is also it's meant for people that have either gotten it or in contact with somebody. The reason why we're assuming that means he has it is because they said he was going to be out for a while. Whereas if you're on the list because you're in contact with someone, you would assume that once you've tested, everything's good. That's the reason why the assumption is. But sure, yes, you're right.
Sure.
That's a good point. Andrew Stecka wants to know if he's benching Mike Evans, replaced with one of the many people that he lists as a possible flex option. Jesus. Antonio Gibson, Tyler Boyd, Ronald Jones, Tevin Coleman, Duke Johnson, N'Keal Harry, Jack Doyle.
PPR, it's Boyd. No
non-PPR, it's
still Boyd.
Okay. So
I'm like thinking in my head. I'm going Boyd.
All right. From Paul in Ovilando. Full-point PPR league. He has Ridley and A.J. Brown as the starting receivers. Would you flex DJ Chark or Hollywood Brown?
I'm going Chark. I think that they're playing from behind in game script, and it's just opportunity. Look, maybe Brown gets an early touchdown, but if the Ravens get a lead, we already know they're going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. I think Jacksonville may be the opposite this week.
From Jim. Jim wants to know who you're benching from this group of wide receivers. Jarvis Land. Oh no, it's start. Sorry, start from one of these 3. Jarvis Landry, Julian Edelman, Jerry Jeudy.
I'm starting Edelman.
Okay.
Him and Cam are the only game in town. I don't even know the other.
He's a little banged up, isn't he?
Yeah,
Edelman.
He's practiced all week.
All right, very good. Also wants to know if you'd play Tariq Cohen over Todd Gurley.
Hey, I don't know that I can do that. I no, because the game script. I like Tariq Cohen. I don't know what that's going to look like exactly. He's not a.
He does say it's a PPR for what it's worth.
It's so close. I mean, I got them 18 and 23. Okay. That's how close it is for me.
But you got Todd Gurley 18.
But I have Todd Gurley up. I mean, you would expect if Todd Gurley's ever going to have a week, it's week 1. He's healthy.
Makes sense.
So let's roll him out. Let's not get too cute.
Okay. Steve wants to know Joe Burrow or Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
What an amazing world.
Look, I get it. But Aaron Rodgers was good last year.
I remember that. That's why
because he wasn't spectacular Aaron Rodgers with 30 touchdowns and things like that. But I like Burrow, but the Chargers secondary is pretty good.
Chris Harris.
They have 3. Don't they? Don't they have 3 guys?
They have Chris Harris, they have Casey Hayward, and they have
somebody else. Yeah. But it's a pretty good secondary. So I don't think that Burrow is going to go in and throw for 600 yards this week.
It would
be great if he
really
does.
Cool. What a story it would be, right?
Would be that great.
I've got him in one league.
I'm not starting him in any league.
From Nick Kelly, his wide receivers are Evans, Woods, Gallup, and Sutton. Do I wait to find out if Evans will play or start someone else to be safe?
Well, I like all those options this week.
I was going to say, this is not.
I mean, Evans is the 4:25 game. I don't know where everybody else plays.
Sunday night, so you could just wait until.
You could definitely wait on that one, and Robert Woods would be Sunday night as well.
Yeah,
I don't know where Denver.
I mean, I'm definitely playing Woods.
But I guess the question ultimately ends up being if Evans plays.
He's saying if.
But now it's sort of the other way around.
Okay,
if Evans plays,
of who he has,
right?
Because of who he has and how late they are. If Evans plays, you play him.
Okay, that's what I was.
I mean, in that game, which should be a shootout, highest total on the board. If he's healthy enough to play, let's play him.
Also wants to know Denver defense or look to your waiver wire.
Look to your waiver wire now. Who's Denver have left?
Man, without Von Miller, sure, right? I mean,
and Chubb.
Chubb's still
going,
recovering.
Yeah, I look before the season. I thought they were going to be a top 10 defense. I can't play him this week.
John, PPR flex, Kareem Hunt, Jonathan Taylor, or Marlon Mack.
I'm gonna go Mack. I'm gonna lean Mack. I like Hunt, but who knows?
Anthony Miller or Michael Gallup in a PPR.
Gallup by a million miles.
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys have seen who the quarterback is in Chicago. I'm not playing every time.
Can I tell you something about the Chicago quarterback against the Lions?
Yeah,
his last 3 games are spectacular against them.
Well, then you should play Anthony Miller. Right?
I know, but Gallup's in a great situation too because he's going to face the number 2 where Cooper's going to face Ramsey. So I love Gallup this week.
I assume this is actually a question that I'm dealing with. I've got Miles Sanders in this league. Devin Singletary would be my best option. Otherwise, if Miles Sanders plays, you're still saying go Singletary.
Yeah, I don't trust Miles this week. I really don't. Hasn't really practiced in full. Really hasn't even been a limited participant.
It's a nervous. It's a
nerve. I think for week 1, I know it's not a great matchup, but for week 1, I think Singletary's the guy in Buffalo.
Noah Fant or Rob Gronkowski?
I like Font.
Okay.
Gronk's going to be a very touchdown dependent. O.J. Howard's probably the better tight end to own when it's all said and done this year, but he's going to, inside the 20, Gronk's going to be on the field.
Would you stash Chase Edmonds and drop either Hardman or Chris Thompson to do it?
I can do it for either.
Okay. Tell me which one to drop.
I'm not. Where are you healthier? If you're healthier at wide receiver, drop Hardman. If you're healthier at running back, drop Thompson.
PPR tight end, planning to play Jarwin and think he'll be good, but could get either Eric Ebron or Dallas Goedert this week. Would you?
I love Goddard. He's in my top 10. I think all the hype on Jarwin is a bunch of garbage. I don't think there's enough footballs to be thrown his direction, and he's touchdown dependent. I think Goddard in Philadelphia with the 2 tight end set they're going to come out with is going to be terrific.
Noah Fant or Jack Doyle?
Ooh, I really like both of these guys. I have them like identical. I have them 13 and 15. I have Font 2 ahead, so Font.
All right. Flex option in a PPR: Diggs, Ingram, or James White.
Diggs, Ingram, James White, Ingram.
How about Stafford or Josh Allen? This is actually the same question that I haven't.
Josh Allen, just by a nose.
If you're starting Josh Allen, why wouldn't I? Like, for example, I could start Diggs or Ingram in a flex in one league. If I'm starting Josh Allen there, shouldn't I start Diggs too?
No.
His rushing upside's what keeps his floor.
Upside. That's the difference between the two. I think Stafford has better in through the air numbers, but the 65 yards and the possibility of a score
right on the ground difference there. Yeah. All right, fair enough. Kyle, go ahead while I reset here.
Ingram, Devontae Parker, or Marlon Mack?
Ingram, Devontae Parker,
or Deshaun Jackson. Let's throw him in the mix as well.
Kind of want to start Deshaun. PPR?
Half point.
Ingram.
Deshaun Jackson or Will Fuller or Devontae Parker. I'm leaning Fuller because he's healthy this week, and if I didn't draft him and play him when he's healthy, then what do I do?
And that's a fair point. I feel the same way about Deshaun Jackson. Like week 1 last week, if you had him, was the week to have him, and he's going up against Washington, who's just awful. I actually have Jackson higher, so I'm going to tell you Jackson.
So you'd play Jackson over Parker at flex?
Yeah, because I don't know if Parker's healthy right this moment.
Hang on really quickly. What's your warrior? Become it in the Army. Whether you want to cure diseases or develop technology the world doesn't know exists, the Army is where all that can happen. Find out more by contacting your local Army recruiter and follow us on social media at U.S. Army Baltimore. Ask yourself, what's your warrior? And go to goarmy.com/Baltimore to find out.
Just so you know, I have Jackson 23, Fuller 28, and right now I have Parker at 40.
Okay.
Do me a favor. When you say that, say it in the microphone, please. Instead of
I thought I was in the microphone. I'm sorry.
On the side of it.
Let me move that.
It's all right.
Jonnu Smith, Austin Hooper, or Dan Arnold? Dan Arnold's my sleeper.
Yeah, he's mine too.
You know who mine is? You know who my sleeper is?
No.
Scotty Miller.
I know.
Love that guy.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to drop him.
Inevitably,
I'm going to drop him.
Can I just tell you, if Evans is out,
you're playing Scotty Miller?
he's not a bad dart.
I told my brother to pick him up.
He's not a bad dart.
I'm not. Hang on a second. I got to figure out which one.
I'm sorry. Let's get
Jonnu, Hooper, or Dan Arnold.
Jonnu.
Okay, that's where I'm leaning. All right. Last but not least, Gibson, Dobbins, Golden Tate, Matt Breida, Deebo Samuel. Where are we going here?
Well, Samuel and Tate are banged up.
Yep. Half point PPR.
Let's roll them out.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Let's roll them out. Let's go, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, you're going Dobbins over Gibson?
Oh, yeah. Let's roll them out.
Are you?
Let's go.
All right. And then last but Drew Brees over Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yes, this week, yes.
Okay.
So in that league,
you have everybody we just talked about.
Oh no, it's the Scotty Miller thing that I'm dealing with now. I have Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, Will Fuller, and Jarvis Landry all starting.
Yeah.
I'm not really starting Scotty Miller as one of those guys.
No,
come on.
You're
just funning now, right?
I'm crazy. I'm not stupid.
You're just funning at the moment.
No, I'm just saying, if you are desperate in week 1 because maybe you drafted Brandon Cooks and Deebo Samuel and you don't have anything else and you're saying, okay, who do I go get to start this week? And Evans doesn't play? Scotty Miller's not a bad play.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hope that you're not that desperate in week 1
well,
of
you never know.
Fantasy football season.
Look, I don't know how people draft. If you only drafted 4 wide receivers.
So here's a good one. This is from Chris. Chris says, I'm in a league where I drafted my starting running backs but hated all the running backs after that, and I really don't like the group. Is there somebody that you would look at and say they're probably available that maybe at some point during the course of the season could end up being valuable to me, even if I accept that right now they'd just be wasting a spot on my bench?
Say real quick the beginning of it.
He's saying that he didn't draft a lot of running backs because he didn't like the running backs. So he's looking to.
I don't know how deep your league is.
Yeah.
Boston Scott didn't get drafted in a league I was drafting in last night. Joshua Kelly didn't get drafted in a league that I was drafting in last night. He's going to have a game day role. I don't know how big it's going to be because Austin Eckler's the guy. But if they still believe that, hey, how we used Austin Eckler last year was fantastic, and Austin Eckler was still a top 10 PPR, half PPR running back, the goal line guy is going to be Joshua Kelly. Ryan Nall, if Montgomery doesn't
play. Now, what is that exactly?
Ryan Nall, N-A-L-L. For 1 week, if Montgomery is out, they're not going to run Tyreek Cohen.
Oh, but he's not talking about for this week. He's talking about for down the road. He's
Joshua
saying
Kelly.
Okay.
Joshua Kelly's the guy.
Okay. All right. Joshua Kelly, whatever that is. No, I know what
UCLA
I know what Joshua Kelly is.
Average 8 yards a carry.
I promise that. All right. What else is on your radar here in week 1?
I don't know. Everything's on my radar. It's like, look, this is a scary week. I think offenses are going to be in front of defenses to start. I think there's a lot of points scored. I think that, let's not get too cute of borderline guys that are banged up. You don't have to force
I'm really wary about your Miles Sanders thing. It's going to be very difficult for me.
Okay,
if Miles Sanders plays to not
with you.
play
I have him.
it's a very tricky thing.
I drafted him in the second round. I'm not playing him this week in my leagues. This is me. This is if I'm running your team, and that's how I answer every single fantasy question I've ever gotten in 20 years. If it's my team and I have a better option that is healthy and is practiced consistently for 2 weeks, Miles Sanders is on my bench this week. Don't trust him, especially in a game that could get out of hand. Why would you risk Miles Sanders in the second half of a football game that you're leading by 17 points at halftime?
Well, I guess my argument would be that in the first half, when they're building up such a big lead, I think it's totally plausible they throw the ball to him 7 times, right? That.
I don't think he's on the field enough. It is anything's plausible in week 1.
So, Casey, here's a scenario.
What I'm really struggling with, if I had a better, like in the one league, in the different league, I have a better option. Like, if it really comes down to me having to play Antonio Gibson over Miles Sanders, that's a really tough sell for me.
It's a tough sell.
That you're saying that,
he's
Antonio,
higher in my rankings. I'm just telling you that right now.
It's a very difficult
So, Casey,
sell.
I've got Mahomes and Hill tonight in one of my teams, right?
Fantastic.
Figures to do pretty well.
It should.
Now, that's the team where it's Deshaun Jackson would be my flex play.
Yeah.
If they go off for 40+, should I go on the side of floor and play a James White over Deshaun Jackson?
Nah, let's run up the score.
Okay.
Run up the score.
Let's run up the score.
Let's run up the score, he goes with.
I think Deshaun does Deshaun Jackson things week 1.
Week 1, he tends to do quite well.
Week 1,
I mean,
2 touchdowns,
it's his
100+
week.
yards.
It's his week.
It's his week. There's no question.
If you drafted Deshaun Jackson, you plan on using him this year, you better use him this week.
That's how I feel with Will Fuller, though.
I'm the same way with Will Fuller. I don't think I own any Will Fuller.
So you wouldn't do Deshaun over Mark Ingram?
Nah, I mean, again, Ingram, 20 touches, good chance for a score.
Yeah.
Do I have to wear that mask?
No, you don't have to wear my mask. I'll get you
I have
your
a
own
different
mask.
mask.
Here, no. I'm going to get you. Stop. I'm going to get you a mask. In fact, Kyle, do me a favor. Do the Glory Days Grill read. Except don't say it's available now. Say it's available on Monday while I get the KZ a mask.
Glory Days Grill Oktoberfest menu is available not now, but on Monday, as their fall seasonal menu is available for dine-in, dine-out on the patio, or to go. It's a new season, so enjoy new flavors. Try their new chicken schnitzel or the delicious Prussian pretzel rolls. Glory Days is open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Visit glorydaysgrill.com for a location near you. From the Glory Days Grill family, stay healthy and positive during this challenging time in our community.
KZ is going to toss on one of these stylish new masks that we have available. Pressboxonline.com/ It's not. I mean, that's not very helpful for when I'm telling everybody to go get their masks.
No, that's good. It's safe. You know when you get it.
That's true. Nobody's touched it. That's a great point. 3 different masks that are available right now. This
You're gonna
one.
mess up your hair, Casey.
I know.
It's a real issue. This one that we're wearing is the purple and orange Maryland flag pattern. Neck gaiter style, 20 inches long, represent both the home teams when you're wearing that one. Also, we got available a Celebrate 8 purple MVP gator style mask with the bold number 8 and MVP on the front, as well as the Maryland flag mask, which is a little bit more traditional. It's a faded, distressed version of the iconic Maryland flag. It's a more standard over-the-ear style 2-ply mask. They are all available right now. PressBoxOnline.com/mask. In fact, it's actually /masks. Sorry. PressBoxOnline.com/masks, plural. And in fact, this one that we've got on, you can get a 4-pack for just $30. So it's a pretty good deal. It's a perfect mask for hanging out and watching games this season. If you're getting together in the neighborhood, you want to be safe. You're trying to go to your local establishment, support them, and watch the games out there. They need you to wear the mask. It's a very cool mask to wear while you're watching the games this year. Available right now. PressBoxOnline.com/masks. Last one for you, John. John wants to know, would you stash Jalen Reagor and drop Hardman for him?
Yes.
That's not we're not asking you.
Would I?
Would you drop Hardman and stash Jalen Reagor?
Yeah, I mean Hardman.
It's okay.
Hardman needs an injury to be productive this year. of anything more
To be startable, right?
Of anything more, right, than a boom or bust, one catch, 80-yard touchdown guy. The volume is not there. So, yes, I would.
Okay.
Because I think once Rager is healthy, he has a more sizable role in that offense, and he's one step away from being the only game in town in that offense.
So you would want to have him?
Yeah, if I was rostering...
Yeah, my real issue is that I drafted him a couple times with the purpose of putting him in IR, and then they, jerks, had him out on the practice field, and it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, I know. I just... Look, I love Hardman, and he's still... He needs an injury to...
Do you think he could usurp Sammy Watkins?
No, I think he needs an injury to Hill. I think if Sammy Watkins gets hurt, it's Robinson. Mm-hmm. Or Pringle.
I love it.
Whatever that is.
DeMarcus.
Sure. The former
DeMarcus,
Baltimore Stallions running back.
Like
DeMarcus Robinson and DeMarcus Pringle and Mike Pringle?
No, it's not Mike Pringle.
God, I just did a bit. All right, get out of here. Thank you for nothing.
What's your pop?
Yeah, nailed it. All right. KZ, thank you, pal. PressBoxOnline.com, what's there?
We put up the DFS today. Tomorrow we'll have Week 1 sleepers.
Very good. At Fans Fantasy on Twitter, as well as how you follow him. And he's with me for Project Game Day on Sunday. Looking forward to that. We'll be with you tomorrow morning for Glenn Clark Radio. For KZ and Kyle, I'm Glenn. This has been the PressBox Fantasy Football Show.